We are celebrating the Defense for Children International 45th anniversary. 45 years full of tireless work, starting with support and coordinating the efforts to adopt the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Anniversaries are a very unique time to look back and to look forward.
Was it worth it? Yes, I think so. What was extremely important, I think, was the fact that we as NGOs got together, pooled our resources, realised that we couldn't have the impact.
And DCI has played an important role. Keep in mind that DCI was the first and most likely the only international non-governmental organization working in the field of children's rights.
I think it's that long history that has matured that gives it credibility and that lends itself to making this a movement that not only is it worldwide and exists in many different countries, that is useful for the future of children.
This convention that contained the entire system of children's rights on one document. It's the most ratified and signed convention by countries in the world. DCI continue the work and the support to ensure that all children are enjoying their fundamental rights and the rights mentioned in the Child Rights Convention.
It's a key moment also to have a kind of assessment and to reorient. And to arrive also because if we need to defend children's rights, we have to build this movement and bringing on board all people.
All countries in the world must make every effort to ensure that the implementation of the convention stop the policy of double standards and hypocrisy and ensure accountability for all criminals against children.
DCI has proven to be an extremely important generator for attention on children's rights, including and also in particular on the rights of children in the context of juvenile justice.
Really reforming our justice system or rethinking the way we deliver justice in this country. Really crucial part of this process has been how we redefine child justice, how we reform our juvenile justice system, how we put children at the center of our investment in child rights. And that is why we have been very deliberate in working with DCI as an institution which has been in this space for very many years, and which Yaman continues to work with children across this country.
We need to be very clear about what means justice. Is really to make sure that children who are victims of violence in all settings can have access to child-sensitive justice. To do that, first you need to have child-sensitive reporting mechanisms that are missing in many places. You need to make sure also that you are working within the community because you have stigma and shame and taboo that surrounded some fraud.
Still, millions of children are deprived from their fundamental rights in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Yemen, in Sudan, in Ukraine, and in other countries.
We know the issues that our children are facing at country level. We have our national chapters who follow up on these issues and also feed back into the campaigns that we do at international level in Geneva and New York, which also lead to the development of global standards.
If we don't work at the European level, we can complain about the fact that national legislation is not good enough, not in line with the convention, but the government will say, but it comes from the European Union, we are just implementing the European framework, and so we need to be organized to influence that level too.
How you are strengthening the local organization, because this is important for building social accountability. Those who are going to make change is those who are living in the country. And I know that you have many networks like that, and I encourage you to continue working on that.
In the Netherlands, we work according to the UNCRC. We provide legal assistance to children. We do lobby and advocacy work. to improve the immigration law system, the juvenile justice system, child protection system. We advocate for inclusive education and to stop other children's rights violations.
So this is the reason why we have our socio-legal defense centers at country level. These centers are places where children and families can actually come and seek justice. And one of the things we are proud of is the fact that through this center we have been able to provide justice for thousands of children, including those who are now also organizing themselves as activists. They have their own organizations and they are making contributions.
With the support of Defense for Children International Sierra Leone and Legal Empowerment Fund, we the young people have established our own social legal defense centers in our communities.
We monitor, report child rights abuse cases to the police, DCI, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. And as well, we also advocate for children in conflict with the law to get justice and mercy.
Access to justice has to be linked to social justice, because you have more and more, judges are dealing with more and more socio-economic things or social things, and you have more and more who are using, not the punitive or repressive response, but more about, life projects.
Nous avons le premier centre socio-juridique qui a été créé en Mauritanie. Il travaille en étroite collaboration avec la police et avec la justice mauritanienne. Nous proposons même des lois. Nous avons des représentants au niveau des tribunaux, puisqu'on nous saisit pour tous les problèmes des enfants, même des enfants migrants, pour assister, accompagner tout enfant depuis son arrestation jusqu'à la fin de son procès. La première des choses, c'est que nous avons ce qu'on appelle le projet de vie. C'est notre plan d'accompagnement. Comment nous allons accompagner cet enfant? On dit projet de vie basé sur les besoins de l'enfant.
We develop a lot of projects, and each time with the idea on how to reinforce the status and the capacity of children to really defend themselves, promote their rights, have something to say in decisions that concern them, and have a real place as citizens in the society.
Child participation first means informing children in language that they can understand, and in the same time really through intergenerational dialogue, and this for me it's really important, to have justice discussion without conflict.
And I think one of the things that I would like to flag is the important, I would say, crucial role DCI had played in the movement around the United Nations Global Study on Children Deprived of Liberty.
Without the strong lobbying and also support of non-governmental organizations, and in particular also Defense for Children International, the General Assembly would not have decided to commission such a global study.
This office was established, this mandate, following the global study on violence against children. And when you are seeing the recommendation and the assessment made in this study on violence against children, the recommendations are still relevant, unfortunately.
We have this study, we have this instrument that will allow us to assess the situation at national level and also identify what are the main gaps and what should be done. And this comes from the UN, from an independent expert. It's not only NGOs saying that we have to focus on deprivation of liberty.
Children deserve a better treatment. Children should not be placed in detention of whatever kind of sort.
And we have also realized that deprivation of liberty of children should not only be a measure of last resort, but it's actually destroying children's childhood development.
We are facing also a pushback on human rights and also on children's rights. And it means, for me, social justice, climate justice, civil, penal, administrative justice. And this is very important.
Today, our message is children's rights must be enjoyed by all children in the world without any discrimination and exception.